Hi, Stefano Molea here, San Diego criminal defense lawyer and partner at the law office of David P Shapiro, where we help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. In this video, I'm going to give you kind of a breakdown of some terminology that one might commonly hear in a criminal court as it relates to the parties, okay? So the defendant is someone, and trust me, as a criminal defense lawyer, I don't refer to my client as defendant. But on paper, the defendant is the person who is charged with a crime, who is accused of a criminal act. The prosecutor can be either in San Diego County, the district attorney's office, or the city attorney's office. And so as a criminal defense lawyer, I represent the defendant. As a prosecutor, the prosecutors say that they represent the people of the state of California. Now, the reason why that is because the power to go after someone for violating or allegedly violating a criminal statute is given by the people of the state of California, right? Now, I personally have a little bit of an issue with that terminology, even though it's technically correct. I think it provides a lot of authority to what the prosecution's doing as far as the legitimacy of what they're doing. And the reason why sometimes I have a problem with that is because there are times when the prosecution pursues cases they shouldn't pursue, or they believe a client is guilty when they shouldn't believe it, or the evidence really isn't there. Or sometimes prosecutors, although most of the time are fairly reasonable, they're not always. And so to sort of stand in front of a jury and say, we represent the people of the state of California, well, the jury might think, well, I'm a person in California, right? So they're like kind of really helping me out. And so there's a little bit of a, some people might think it's a little bit nitpicking, but psychologically, there's a lot of subliminal things that can happen. And so that's why, at least personally, when I'm in court, I'll refer to the prosecution as the prosecutor or the district attorney or the city attorney, but I will not refer to them as the people. Although, of course, they like to refer to themselves as the people, which is, legally okay to do and appropriate. I just don't like to refer to them as the people. And then obviously you've got the judge, right? The person with the black robe. And then you've got the bailiff, and that's the deputy sheriff who essentially helps with court proceedings and maintains the security in the courtroom. Then you've got the court clerk, right? And they're the ones who are some people say probably the most important person in the room. They're the ones who process all the paperwork, make sure dates are done correctly, really run the operations of the case and what has to happen, and all of the really important administrative things, and really are a big support to the judge and making sure that things are done correctly, right? A lot of times you hear a clerk remind the judge, hey, don't forget about this, or hey, what are we going to do on this issue? So very, very important people in the courtroom. And then a lot of times you have a court reporter. Now in San Diego County, at least, on misdemeanors, there won't be a court reporter. It's just audio recorded. But on anything that's a felony in criminal court, you will have a court reporter, and they're the stenographers, right? They're the ones taking down everything that's being said. And so also, of course, very important. And so on that note, remember, if you're speaking in court, which if you're listening to this and you might be a defendant in court, hopefully there won't be a lot of opportunity for you to speak. You really should make sure that you talk to your lawyer before deciding to make a comment in court. But anytime you speak in court, make sure it's very clear. You slow down, you don't go too fast, and you enunciate, because there's that court reporter that's taking everything down. So that is essentially a really quick breakdown of everything as far as the individuals involved in the day-to-day court proceedings, at least inside the courtroom. Hope this information is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. Stefano Molea, San Diego criminal defense lawyer, 619-295-3555.